Another episode of Speaking It. Your host, Dom Viv. This is going to be a live YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, all that good stuff. Um, Ready to get into it. Got a couple things to talk about today. Um, let's jump right into it. Uh, let's start with the Monday game. Um, it was a good game. Good game. Real entertaining. Um, Baltimore Cleveland game. I think Baltimore looked dominant. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know this was closer. I know they had to come from behind. Baltimore had to come from behind, but that was because Lamar, whatever happened, he went to the bathroom. He had cramps. We don't know whatever happened to him. Um, but for the most part, he was out there. It was moving. Um, they had a 14-point lead before he went to the locker room. Trace, I think Trace actually looked all right as well. I mean, he had a couple of throws that he made that should have been caught.
Yeah, Hollywood dropped one.
So, um, I thought it was a good. I thought it was a good game.
I thought it was a good game. I thought Cleveland showed well too.
Yeah,
I don't think it was exactly what I thought it would be. I didn't think that it would be a dominant performance from us on both sides of the football and just a complete blowout. I was expecting exactly what I got. Fireworks. Our defense is spotty. You know, even though I felt like they really started moving the football when they were picking on, once Jimmy went down, they just picked on his replacement. It didn't matter who it was. They picked on him. So, but in other games, it'll be Marcus Peters. So it doesn't really matter. Like it's just I've always said he's a guy he's going to try to jump routes. So he's a double move away from being beat all the time. Marlon is really the only guy and Jimmy, I feel like, are really the two physical shutdown corners. You know what I mean? But Marcus is spotty. But finally, it was the offense that looked good. I'm never worried about the defense. It's the offense, and if they found it's finally clicking. Hollywood should have made some plays. Lamar should have made some plays, but it looks better than it's looked previously, which means I feel like it's headed in the right direction.
I'm gonna tell you this. I disagree with you. That game should have been a blowout. I thought
if Jimmy don't go down, it is a blowout.
Blowout. If Jimmy don't go down, and if Lamar don't go to the back, because again that was a 14-point game. Lamar goes down, y'all don't move the ball. That's when Cleveland starts to come back and pick on whoever the heck Jimmy, because you got to think Jimmy went down and Marcus Peters went down, and then they started picking on whoever it is that was on them. So that was actually brought Cleveland back in the game, because when that man-to-man was on them, they couldn't do anything with it. But like you said, I was impressed with Baker and the Browns as well, because they didn't run the ball. The Browns didn't run the ball particularly well. Baker made plays, and that was like eye-opening to me, because for the past couple of games, he has not been the one making turnovers. He had the one turnover that he trusts maybe he trusts his arm more. You know what I mean? Or maybe he didn't even trust. Maybe he didn't see the linebacker.
I think that was just a great play by the linebacker. Bowser just dropped back perfectly. I don't think Baker was expecting him. I don't think he's seen him, and then it was still a pretty good catch too. So
yeah, that one-handed snap, that one-handed catch, that was a nice catch by Tyus Bowser. So, like you said, it was a good showing by both teams. But I do think that Baltimore looked dominant until a couple of players went down, which is what brought me to the question. I know the question is, does Lamar look like he turned the corner? So I'll ask you two parts. Do the Ravens look like they are turning the corner? And on top of that, does Lamar look like he's turned the corner and having fun again? And what does that say about? Well, go ahead. I'll let you answer it first.
I think he's starting to look like he's having fun again. He looks like he's having fun. The offense is starting to move and look a little bit better. He's making plays with his arm. He's got to make some more plays with his arm. There were still some throws that he left out on the field, but again, that's part of him growing. He's got to make those throws. So I think people were more. What I was most impressed with was what he did last, to come in 4th and 5 and to make that play. So that to me shows that he's got ice in his veins, man. Like, he's got ice in his veins. So I don't think any moment will ever be too big for him. So I don't think like if he folds or he has a bad game, it wasn't that the moment was too big for him. He just had a bad game. So I feel like now is a time where let him just be him. You tried all year to put him in a box and it hasn't worked. You got to go back to letting him be him and letting him have fun, running the football more, just getting out, scrambling, creating plays. Let him be him, and the offensive click.
The thing that, so do you think that it would be if if he's having fun again, playing, balling? Do you think that's scary for the rest of the AFC?
Yeah.
Not your Baltimore hat, not your Baltimore fandom hat.
I think it's scary. I think it's scary for the rest of the AFC outside of the Chiefs. I think we can still beat anybody but the Chiefs. I don't think we have the recipe yet I don't think we can still consistently score points with the Chiefs. I don't think we have the offense to consistently score points with the Chiefs. Not when our identity is to run the football. You don't score points fast running the football. Even with an electric guy like Lamar, it's still going to be hard to score points fast. You're going to need always those big explosive plays just from him running the football. That's a lot to ask. You might get 1 or 2 of those, but to consistently do it, no. I don't think we can score the points with the Chiefs. But anybody other than that, yeah, I think we could potentially beat them. But we put ourselves in a position where we got to get in first to even make that come true. We got to get in first.
So, a couple of things. I think that him having fun again is scary for everybody else. I don't care who you are, Chiefs, Bills. You said it when we asked who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs. I said the Bills. You said the Ravens. And now, if he is playing at that level, I agree with you. Because yes, he did. He left 2 big throws out there, 2 of them. And a couple, and other ones Hollywood just dropped, right? So if they open up that offense like that, that is scary because what he did on that 1 touchdown throw, like you said, he scrambled out and everybody committed to him. That's what got Hollywood open. If they get back to using him that way, where he is just moving his legs, it's really essentially just backyard football. He gonna move his legs. He gonna draw people to him, and if it's now, just pick your poison. Because if you don't got 2 on me, and you spy me with 1, I'm taking off for 20 yards. You want to bring 1 down, which now you want to put a safety in the box, or you want to play Hollywood 1-on-1, or you want to put play Mark Andrews 1-on-1. Because Mark Andrews can fly. I see the play he had where the 2 plays where he had where Lamar missed him. He ran right by a linebacker. Lamar just missed him. Another one, Hollywood ran right by somebody. The way Hollywood was playing, he probably was gonna drop it anyway, so it didn't matter. But when I look at the offense now and I see him actually having fun, he's just out there, just reacting. I don't care who you are. He can beat you. And that should be scary for everybody else because I've seen the Chiefs defense get lit up. I've seen them get lit up. And I've also seen where if you pressure, was that guy named Patrick Mahomes? You can rattle him. I don't know if the Chiefs can pressure Lamar Jackson the way he's playing right now. I don't know if anybody can pressure Lamar Jackson the way he's playing right now. The way he's just reading, reacting. You blitz him, he's gonna take off. Like the game on Monday, he had a couple of sacks, but I don't think that those sacks were necessarily because of they got to him. I think the field was slippery.
Yeah, he slipped on a couple of them.
And he slipped a couple times. So I think if he's playing the way he's playing right now, and he is, if he can connect on the throws, I don't see anybody. Again, I know there are other offenses. I'm talking about anybody that's corner on any other team that's in the AFC that can possibly stick with Hollywood. Now, Hollywood, he has to catch the ball. That's the biggest thing. Hollywood has to catch the ball.
And a major factor that I'm going to put in here is we can't abandon the game plan. I think I always said that we abandoned the game plan last year in the playoffs, but we can't abandon the game plan just because we get down. Like, trust the defense, that the defense is going to show up and then it's going to hold and it's going to make a stand at some point, and don't abandon the game plan with the offense. Lamar throwing the ball 35, 40 times, that's not the recipe for success, even in the shootout.
I'm with you. I think he's at his best where Aaron Rodgers is at his best. A lot of people say, now Aaron Rodgers, don't get me wrong, I think Lamar can throw from the pocket. You give him time, he can throw from the pocket. I think Aaron Rodgers is a beast at throwing from the pocket. But Aaron Rodgers is at his best, same place where Josh Allen's at his best, same place where Carson Wentz was at his best when he was MVP level, same place where Patrick Mahomes at his best. Off script plays. Off script. Okay, that's the play. It ain't there. Now I'm going off script. Like I said, backyard. That's where Lamar's at his best. Those off script plays. That's what they need to do. More off script plays. Where, okay, that's the read. Lamar is not there. Either you take off, use your legs to make a play. You know what I mean? And if it's not running and somebody commits to you, now you should have people wide open. I think that y'all should teach y'all players, y'all receivers, backs, tight ends, that just like what Green Bay does. Aaron is moving. The play is never over. That's how I feel though that y'all should do with y'all players. Lamar is moving. Go for yard. If he's moving, go try to score a touchdown. Somebody go try to make a play. That's how y'all should run your offense. That is how y'all can beat anybody in the NFL, because he is still the most dynamic player in the NFL.
Agreed.
All right, let's go. Big news, basketball. Giannis signed his 5-year, $28 million contract. Was it the right decision? Man, he's 26, right? I think Giannis just turned 26. He just turned 26.
I think so.
Was it the right decision? Yes. And no, if that's the answer. Yes and no. I love it. I'm gonna tell you why I love it. Because in a league where we see everybody wanting to go team up with somebody. You know what I mean? He did what Dame Lillard did. Dame Lillard said, I'm not teaming up with nobody. This is my team, this is my city, this is where I'm gonna stay. This is the team that picked me where everybody else passed on me. I want to show the city some love. I want to bring the city a championship. I think it was a great deal for Giannis. I think it's a great deal for Milwaukee. Now I feel as though that Milwaukee has to go and do stuff. They have to go do things. They tried. They brought in Drew. They brought in Brook Lopez. They drafted Malcolm Brogdon. They brought in Eric Bledsoe. It's not like this is not like Milwaukee isn't trying to put pieces around Giannis. They're trying. They read up his running mate in Chris Middleton, who maybe is we've been saying on the show, he's just maybe not the number 2. They got Drew Holiday. Let's see if he's a number 2. But they are trying to do things to put pieces around him. I heard somebody say about like today, like Jordan said, "This is my team. Chicago's my team. If free agents don't want to come here, I'm going to try to figure this thing out. Here's the thing with people will be like, well, Jordan stayed with his city and he won a championship. Jordan also got injured, got a top 5 pick, brought in Scottie Pippen. That was his running mate. We could talk about Kobe. They made a big move. They brought in Shaq. That was his running mate. Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson. Like the people that stayed, they had running mates. Either they were bad enough to get another running mate, or the organization somehow, some way found a stud through a trade. Like the Lakers got a steal. You know what I mean? They got robbed. Or they robbed Memphis. Like Milwaukee needs to find, like Jrue Holiday may be that person, but Milwaukee needs to find a way to get a steal. Like maybe they thought Jabari Parker was it. Jabari Parker had two bad injuries. Then Giannis became the guy. Like you can't knock that man for becoming great and not being bad. Like we seen LeBron do it, right? LeBron was so great that he couldn't get picks, the high enough picks for them to come in and build around him. So he left, and I think he kind of regretted it. That's why he went back to Cleveland to win a championship there. Giannis don't want to do that, so I commend them for actually wanting to stay. I don't know again if they're going to be bad enough to get that type of player with him, but the organization needs to figure out a way to try to build a championship around that guy.
I think it was the right decision for him. It was the right decision for the organization as well. It was the right decision for him because he's still, I know, he feels as though he's one of the best players in the league. And he's got to feel that his play is also one of the reasons they have not been successful in the playoffs. So him taking that challenge to say, I'm still the best player on this team and we're going to win the championship because I'm going to take us there. So it's easier to go and join Steph and join somebody else. It's easier to do that. I feel like this is hard, but it's also a huge payday. So get his money, try at it. If you don't get it after this, if you don't get it in Milwaukee these next 4 or 5 years, then we can go somewhere and he'll still be young. He'll still be in his
30, 29, 30.
You know what I mean? In his early 30s at the worst. So I think this is a good move for him. I feel like the Bucks are doing their best. Like you're not going to get free agents. You're going to continue to win. He's in the same boat that LeBron was in, where they're going to probably try to bring in a different team every year or every other year around him to try to get a championship because you have that type of guy in your organization, 2-time reigning MVP, and he's the reigning defensive player of the year. You have that type of guy on your team, you're going to do whatever you can to try to win. But they're just doing a much better job than Cleveland did for LeBron. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten to the finals yet. LeBron was able to. So,
let me ask you this question. What's stopping Ben Simmons and Giannis Antetokounmpo from being the best players in the NBA?
Ben is a jump shot, and for me, it's Giannis picking what he wants to do. I think he's stuck between being an inside post guy and being a ball handler, create your own shot guy. I think he would be best suited to be a post guy because no one's that big, physical, and athletic to handle him. And he can still take those bigger guys out on the perimeter and take them, blow by them, and get to the rim. So I think he would be better suited for that because of how long he is. He's not a guy that's going to continuously take you off the dribble and knock down shots. That's not who he is. And then the shot is so long. Like, he can become a better shooter, probably. He can probably step out and hit it, but he'll be dominant in the post.
So I asked you that question because I think, again, we're in a microwave society. Giannis is 26. He just turned 26. Ben Simmons is 24. He just turned 24. We're in a microwave society where we want these young players to just because they're so good so early. We like that guy needs to make. He needs to already be in the final. He just turned 26. He just turned 26. Like Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, and them, D Wade, and them, they may have won it young. Yeah, I mean, but I think they was in their 20s. They was 20 around 26. Like that guy, Giannis, he's still developing. His game is still developing. If he gets, like you said, if he figure out what he is, if he's a post player, a power forward who plays in the post, where they can get him a true point guard, which Drew Holiday may be right now, who can get him easier buckets. Where now you can't wall him off because now Drew Holiday is the point guard, and he's creating easier buckets for Giannis. Now they have something. They can get better or they can get to the finals because you can't just key on that guy. He can legit become the best player in the NBA because he is that dominant. He and Ben Simmons. Giannis has the mentality that we want Ben to have. He just doesn't have to me, he just doesn't have all the skill sets that Ben has. If we couple them two together, that mentality with Ben's skill sets, that's the best player in the NBA to me. And I think Giannis can get there. So I think it's good because he's still young. He's still growing. He just works on this game. If he works on this game and is dedicated to his craft to becoming the best player in the NBA, it's scary to think that he won a Defensive Player of the Year and an MVP of the Year twice, and his game is still evolving and developing. He isn't even at the level where we think that he's at his best, which is scary.
Very scary.
So, let's get to this James Harden news, man. Should they trade that man sooner or later? I think I'm torn between because I can see both sides. I legit see both sides. Where the sooner you trade him, the better you can figure out what you have as a team. Like now you can move forward and put your team together and say, okay, John Wall, it's your team. Because as long as James Harden is still there, it's James Harden's team. But if the sooner you move James Harden, the sooner you turn the team over to John Wall, and you actually can see, can he be that guy? Can he be the guy in Houston? You can't do that as long as James Harden is there. So I can see where you need to figure out like what your team's gonna look like moving forward. I think John Wall got like 3 more years left on this deal to figure out what you got in your team moving forward in the next 3 years. Can we build around John Wall? Can we get to a championship level around John Wall? If not, now I need to start figuring out. Like I need to start positioning myself. Am I tanking? Am I getting picks? What am I doing? But I also can see like the later you hold on to him, the maybe teams will say we don't like where we are position wise, so we're gonna give you something. Like say the Sixers. We don't like where we are position wise with Ben Simmons and Joel. All right, now we'll be willing to give up Ben Simmons. But I also think that'll bite you in the behind because say Brooklyn is 27-2 at the half. You think they're gonna give up Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie now? I'm not giving that up. I'm not giving that up now. Wow, for what? We the best team in the league. Say Giannis and them are 27-2 at the half. You think I'm going to give up? You think I'm going to mess up my chemistry to bring in James Harden where I don't know how that chemistry going to work?
I say moving him right now. I say moving him last week. The more you leave him around, James Harden is a weird dude. Like, he kind of quirky. Like, you don't know how this is going to turn out and how he's going to continue to play this. Like, right now, he's not talking to the media. Like, what is that? What is that going to evolve into? And your team that's trying to figure out who you are, that is not the distraction that you need. That's not the distraction that you need. And it's also not a good look on them, because now it's looking like they're mistreating their superstar. Like, I still feel like, give that man what he wants. He's been loyal to you. He's giving you everything that he could possibly give you. Move on. It's time to move on from James. James wants to move on from you. Move on and do it now, because you're probably going to get your best value now. Because now, later on, you're going to probably run into a team that doesn't need you anymore. Because the teams that he wants to go to, they're good right now. So they're going to be good when the regular season. There's not going to be any of those teams that's going to be like, James Harden is going to be the guy that's going to put us over. And then the longer this plays out, probably the worse it's going to get for him and his behavior. So, and I don't know, people were questioning what he looked like as far as game shape the other night. So, like, I know I wouldn't want to be trading for a guy in midseason that's out of shape, and we're trying to make a championship run. So,
I'm with you. I think the biggest thing, like you said, is what teams will look like later on. Because, like you said, it's a risk, because the teams that he wants to go to, they are good teams. Milwaukee, Sixers, Heat, and the Nets.
And all of them are really new looks. So they really don't even know what they look like yet.
Yeah.
And they're saying we don't even know what we look like. We'll take James now and we'll figure it out with him. But now we're going to figure it out without him. I may not want James. I may not want to give up what I have.
Because, like you said, think about it. 27 games in, or whatever, however many games it is at the half. 34, I think, or 32, something like that. Say Joel Embiid looked like an MVP. Ben Simmons looked like the defensive player of the year like he was last year. Tobias Harris got his game back. Steph Curry and Danny Green is clicking. What am I bringing him in for? Why am I bringing this guy in for? To mess up what we got right here. We found our stars. Kevin Durant's back to where he give me 30 a night. Kyrie give me 30 a night. And that Nets bench, they the best. They the best in the league. Well, I'm giving that up for James Harden now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving up Chris Middleton when Chris Middleton out here giving me 25 a night now. Yeah, I mean, so I'm with you. The longer you wait, the riskier it is, but I definitely understand it from an organizational standpoint, because you want to hold out just to say, oh, maybe James may like playing with John Wall and them. This is what I would say to the organization. The moment that man turned down $103 million over 2 years,
should have traded him the next day.
No matter what you do, he ain't coming back. No matter what
he wants to win a championship, and he knows what he's up against, and he knows what he has in Houston.
Yeah,
and he knows that it's not ready to win the championship. So why waste my time in a rebuild? I can understand that. I'm not getting ready to go through a rebuild, because we're not reloading when the two superstars that you bought in are coming back from injuries, and they're still trying to figure out who they are. So, new head coach. No, this is a rebuild.
Yep. And the organization can say this. The organization can say, well, we've done everything we could, James. Okay. And that's fine. I'm grateful for that. You've done everything that you could. You gave me Dwight Howard. Okay, it didn't work out. You gave me Chris Paul. It didn't work out. You gave me Russ. Okay, it didn't work out. Now it's time for us to part ways. Organizations do this all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Superstars, either they get old or they leave. Give that, like you said, let that man go play for a championship. That's what he wants. You owe it to that man to go and allow him to play for a championship. There's no Marc Gasol trade out there. No Pau Gasol trade out there. You're not getting a Pau Gasol, the best big in the league, for Marc Gasol and somebody else. You're not getting that. That deal is not out there. So the Lakers can do that because they found that deal. They're not. That deal isn't out there. That deal doesn't exist. So you should allow that man to go out and do what he need to do and win the championship. Bring back as many young assets and picks as you can. I think that. And listen, if you can get the Tobias Harris,
it should have been done.
Who's 27, you can get a Matisse Thybulle who's 20. You can get 3 first-rounders, 4 first-rounders to help build that team. I think that is the best move. You can get a legit. Tobias Harris was a legit 22 point per night scorer, with the Clippers.
You can get a good deal for James Harden.
You can get it. It's out there. What you asking for, people aren't going to give you, and they're not going to give it to you later on.
Yeah, they tripping.
So I'm with you, bro. They need to move that man ASAP. But I definitely understand if they do want to hold on to him for a little bit. Let me talk about. Let's get to college football players. What we talked about the last time, right? Seeing if Florida was going to fall, which I told you, I legit didn't see Florida falling that far. But they fell one spot.
One spot.
They fell one spot to 7.
That's ridiculous.
I knew they wasn't going to make. I knew they wasn't going to fall that far. It's 2020, and the committee is not knocking Florida out of that position. Here's where I think it may set up just by doing that. Do you think Alabama's in regardless?
Alabama's in regardless.
Do you think Clemson is in regardless?
No. They got to win Saturday.
Okay, so here's where it gets crazy. Because if you don't think Clemson is in regardless, and if Clemson loses, they get knocked out. But say Florida beats Alabama. And say Iowa State loses to Oklahoma. Can Florida still make it?
I think when they told us yes when they put them at 7. That's the answer that I got from that. Because the reason why I have Florida falling so far was because I thought they were going to definitively say Florida's out. But keeping them at 7 is crazy because it's telling me that they still have a chance to get in if the dominoes fall in the right place. Because they're still ahead of Cincinnati.
Yep.
Interesting. And this is the thing. I'm still trying to figure out because my biggest takeaway has been from the beginning Texas A&M at 5. I'm still trying to figure out how a team that didn't win their division and really their 2 biggest games is a win against Florida and a blowout against Alabama. Like, you got blown out, and that looks good on your resume because you got blown out by Alabama. Like, I'm not understanding. They didn't win their division, but they're going to somehow get into the college football playoff.
But they have no shot at getting into the college football playoffs.
No. Most people think that if the dominoes fall right, they're gonna get in. They should get in before Florida gets in, even if Florida wins the SEC championship. I've heard people say, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what has Texas A&M do to be 5? They didn't even win their division. How can you even be in consideration? Like, this is terrible. This is like I want complete chaos on I would love complete chaos on Saturday to see what the committee does.
So complete chaos. What would complete chaos look like? This would look like to me, right? Alabama loses.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson loses. Ohio State loses.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State loses.
Mm-hmm.
Florida wins, of course. Cincinnati wins. Coach Carolina wins. Like, that will be complete chaos if all those teams, because I feel as though if Clemson wins, 2 teams are set. If
Clemson wins, 3 teams are set.
Like I said, if Clemson wins, there's 3 teams that are set.
Because Alabama's in regardless. There's nothing Alabama can do to get out.
So I agree.
To me, Notre Dame's in. I don't think there's anything Notre Dame can do to get out. So 2 teams are in.
I agree.
If Clemson wins, Clemson's in. That's 3. If Ohio State wins, they're in. That's 4, and then we're done. We don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about anything. But that's not what I want. That's not fun. That's boring. I want chaos.
Alabama lose. Clemson lose. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I still think a 2-loss Clemson makes it. There's no way that you can put a 2-loss Iowa State or Florida ahead of a 2-loss Clemson to me.
That's where I'm getting ready to say this. This is where that SEC bias will come in. I can see a Texas A&M getting in over a 2-loss Clemson. The way people have been talking about Texas A&M and the fact that Texas A&M has not moved from 5, even though they have not been playing any meaningful games, no meaningful games, because if their biggest win is Florida, that was way early in the season. So they haven't been playing any meaningful games. They have no chance at winning the conference championship, and they have not failed. And there are teams that have been playing meaningful games and winning meaningful games that haven't moved.
If they lose to a Tennessee on Saturday, that
solidifies that they're done. But if they win, they're still in the hunt. And I don't understand how a team that doesn't win their division. Because I know that year that Michigan and Ohio State were highly ranked, Michigan had no chance of getting in, even though they had proven, and all year long that was their only loss. They were undefeated going into the Ohio State game.
I think they take those games. They weigh those games heavy. Here's where another thing that's interesting to me. Where I would throw out there to you, Oklahoma. If Oklahoma wins its championship game, its conference game, can they jump all the way up?
Nope, I don't see it. Again, that's another reason why I was expecting Florida to tumble. I was thinking this was the message that they're sending. Oklahoma, you win your conference championship game, you have a chance to get into this 4. Florida, even if you win it, you don't have a chance to get into this 4. But it's the opposite way. That's what it says to me with Florida at 7 and Oklahoma at 10. And also, again, remember we had a conversation about USC.
Listen, I was just looking at them.
USC, you have no chance. We just want to let you know you have no chance of getting up here into this 4. Message sent. But when you put a team at 7 that's scared to go play for a conference championship against the number 1 team, you're telling me that door is open if the dominoes fall right. they can get in.
Which is why I think Oklahoma may still have a chance because I think Georgia has zero chance. At this point, I think Cincinnati has zero chance.
If you're not in the history has said if you're not in the top 6, you have no chance of getting in at this juncture. I'm going to take it to 7 this year because I do believe that when you lose at home to a team that's terrible, and that's what LSU is, a team that is terrible. They've had a terrible season, and you only drop 1 spot. That's telling me that, again, the eye test meant more than the actual results of the game. And the eye test is, hey, man, Florida could still be one of the 4 best teams in the country. Let's keep them at 7.
Which, in all actuality, if I'm being real, I still think Florida's.
I no Kyle pitch. You needed a penalty and a 57-yard field goal. Oh yeah, and you needed a miracle interception because that was in the red zone. Like, yeah, a lot of things had to happen that night for you to lose. So no doubt. But the result is the result.
The result is the result. I'm with you. The result is the result, and that's what we're talking about.
All of a sudden, there's good losses now.
Yeah, I'm with you. But listen, they opened up that door when they put Iowa State, when they put a two-loss Iowa State up there. If 2-loss Iowa State was at number 7, there's no way that a 2-loss Florida should drop down like that for her. That's how I look at it. And we see a 2-loss Oklahoma right there in the mix of it. That's why I think Oklahoma, and this year is crazy.
I understand that, but when you lose should matter. They just lost. Like if this was 2-3 weeks ago, they would have tumbled after a loss at home to LSU. They would have tumbled, but because we're going into this week, they didn't. That's what I don't like. Like I understand they got 2 losses like everybody else, but it just happened. Their second loss just happened, so they should have tumbled. I'm not saying they should have fell out of the top 10, but just 1 spot.
Listen, it makes that championship game more interesting. There's more at stake right now.
Exactly. That's why you keep them at 7 because all of a sudden we are playing for something more than just an SEC championship, guys. We still got a legit shot of getting into this college football playoff. Let's go get it.
Let me ask you this question.
They had no chance though on Saturday.
You don't think Florida has a chance? Hey, listen. What we say Saturday? We said, hey, I'm sorry, LSU. I'm sorry, LSU, but he about to light y'all up. Yeah, we said LSU had no chance on Saturday.
Alabama's not Florida.
Hey, listen, that offense is number 3 in the nation.
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday.
We're gonna see on Saturday. We'll see
on Saturday.
Do you think Notre Dame has any shot at winning the championship?
Yes. I actually hold on. Let me take that back. We'll see Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, I thought they handled themselves well against North Carolina, but we seen North Carolina's not legit. They handled themselves well and they beat Clemson, but that was without Trevor, and they had guys on the defense missing as well on Clemson. So you're going to see the real Clemson on Saturday. How they handled that will determine whether or not this is going to turn into a really ugly semifinal game or a potentially intriguing semifinal game.
Which, if it turns into an ugly championship game this Saturday, I think Notre Dame gets knocked out.
I tell you what, if Notre Dame is not in the college football playoff on Sunday when they release it, if they're not in the top 4, throw the whole system out. Just take the whole system and put it in a can and start over.
if Notre Dame's not in that 4.
Even if they get beat,
I don't care.
they didn't get beat. Miami, North Carolina beat.
Florida just lost. They're 2 right now, right? Notre Dame's 2, right?
They lost 2
Florida.
games. Florida,
Florida just lost at home. Florida just lost at home to a bad LSU team, and they moved down 1 spot. Notre Dame better not move down more than 1 spot. I don't care how they look against arguably the best team in the country in Clemson on Saturday. I don't care how they look. If Florida just lost to LSU at home, that bad LSU team, they lost. And then they moved down 1. Notre Dame better not move out of that 4.
Listen,
you just showed that the eye test means something. You gonna tell me that all of a sudden in one game you're just gonna erase the eye test that you see from them all year long?
Yeah,
I can't see that. The committee just take the whole system and just throw it away if that happens. I don't see how Notre Dame does not get in. I think them in Alabama are in. I don't care what happens on Saturday.
Notre Dame. I'm looking at the wins, and it's one game. Well, I'll say 2 games that stand out to me. One that it's an asterisk next to.
There should be an asterisk to any of them.
Asterisk next to Clemson. Asterisk.
No, why? That's not their fault.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Put an asterisk next to it.
Asterisk. Trevor Lawrence wasn't there, man. I gotta put an asterisk next to that.
So I can't put an asterisk next to it. It's not their fault.
I gotta put an asterisk next to it because listen, this is why I gotta put the asterisk next to it because you got if Clemson demolishes you on Saturday, that's why there has to be an asterisk next to that one. If Clemson demolishes you, asterisk. Now I gotta look at your resume and say your most impressive win is North Carolina.
So if that's the case, that means you're telling me that 3 teams should be firmly in.
Who? Bama?
Because you're telling me that Clemson, that Clemson's loss shouldn't count. I guess you have an asterisk next to it. So they should be.
Depends on what Saturday.
So technically, they're undefeated.
Depends on what Saturday look like. If Saturday's game is a close game like the first one was, I can't put an asterisk next to that Clemson game because they played y'all tough with Trevor and they played y'all tough without Trevor. So Notre Dame is legit. If Clemson trashes you on Saturday, I gotta put an asterisk next to that win because Trevor wasn't there. I gotta put an asterisk. Trevor wasn't there. I gotta put the asterisk next to it. I got to. Trevor wasn't there. They wasn't fully. They wasn't at full strength.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
And I'm like, man, Trevor. Listen, Trevor. There.
I still think Notre Dame in. I still feel like they have enough. They've done enough.
I'm with you. This is how I feel. I feel as though that there are 2 teams. I do legit feel as though, me personally, I feel just how you feel. 2 teams that I feel as though that should be solid. No matter what they do, they should be in it, which is Notre Dame and which is Alabama. However, if the committee say if they get smacked on Saturday, I got a second guess. I got the only reason I say I feel as though Notre Dame is a lot is because I don't think that they'll get smacked by Clemson. But if Clemson beat them 70-7, I do gotta think about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta think about it. Because I'm gonna be like, man, I don't want to see that again.
Hopefully that don't happen.
I don't want to see that again.
I wouldn't be shocked though.
So
Notre Dame's known for laying eggs in big games.
So I'm with you, man. It could get interesting. I do hope it get interesting. But the only team I feel though that is a lot is Bama. And
what if Florida trashed them?
Man, I'm gonna tell you if Florida trashed them, I still feel as though they're locked because You look at their schedule. One,
that's the SEC.
No, I'm just looking at the schedule that they played. Right,
Alabama, yeah, the SEC. Where was the juggernaut there? Arkansas.
There's no juggernaut, but they beat Texas A&M, who was ranked. They beat Georgia, who's ranked. They beat Auburn, who's ranked. They got more ranked wins than anybody in the top 10. Anybody in the top 5?
Yeah.
The top 5.
All the SEC bias, man. Auburn been ranked all year for no reason.
Listen, when you look at their resume, but also, I can't. Clemson already played Alabama. Clemson already played Notre Dame already. We can legit see part 3. Clemson Notre Dame. And if Clemson gets smacked on Saturday, nobody wants to see that part 3. I don't want to see that part 3. They beat them 70-7. I don't want to see part 3 of that.
I do.
I can't. I don't want to see part 3 of that.
I think Notre Dame has proved that they should be in, man.
I believe it. It just.
But it is 20. You're right. It is 2020. Florida just only dropped one spot. I can't believe it. I still can't.
Again, it might not even listen. Legit, I'm gonna keep real with you. I don't even want to see Florida in. I want to see the undefeated team in. I want to see Cincinnati in.
That's what I want to see in.
Florida lost. They got 2 losses. I've been rocking with them all year, but being real, unbiased, Cincinnati has 0 losses. They should get in. They're not gonna get in, but they should get in. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: if you're talking about on the monkey wrench and everything, let's say Ohio State lose. Let's say Clemson loses. Let's say A&M lose. Let's say Florida loses. Let's say Iowa State loses. Let's say Georgia loses. Now, can Cincinnati get in?
Probably still no.
I'm gonna say no because what's going to happen is Oklahoma going to jump all them teams.
I don't think Cincinnati gets in unless there is complete and utter chaos.
Which is
which is what you described, and the likelihood of that is slim to none, which is their chances. And that's just too bad, man, because they're a really good football team.
But I sit here looking like they've been in that. They have undefeated. They haven't really played. Teams are losing, and they can't jump. Teams are losing, and they still can't jump them. So I'm with you, man. It's going to be an interesting Saturday. Thinking about college real quick. See, Deion got the ranked number 4 cornerback in the nation to come play with him in Jackson State.
Yep. We said it.
Exactly. We talk about it a lot when once his son signed. I knew it was going to happen.
And then he got his other 2 sons to sign as well. The other one's transferring in from South Carolina, and the other one is the 35th ranked player in the state of Texas in the class of 2021. So it has begun.
There was something down there. I'm gonna tell you.
It has begun.
If I forget the boy name, transferred from Georgia as well, or he decommitted from Georgia and came over. He gonna start right away, right? He got to start right away. It ain't like the players that's already at Jackson State is better than him. So he has to start right away. If Deion can get him, well, if he looks good, I just find it very hard for them to keep other high-end prospects from going there.
Yeah, and it can be That's a lot of places there that guys look to go in the transfer portal.
Glad you brought that up.
Which can be a recruiting tool. Because majority of the time guys are looking for fresh starts or they're looking for a path to the next level. And now you can get both because you're talking about Deion Sanders having ties to the NFL. So, and does not cop. I think you were. It was a group chat that I was in, and they were talking about how big time college football coaches they'll block recruits from transferring. Well, who's going to block them from transferring to Jackson State? They're not a threat. I believe that this is good ready to be a snowball, not only just for Jackson State, but HBCUs, period. I do believe that it's going to be a snowball. So shout out to Deion, shout out to the young man.
I'm pulling him up right now.
Dejon Warren. Shout out to the Jackson State football program.
Listen, bro.
Looking good, Deion. Looking good, Prime.
You need one transfer. And I just think about, like you said, all the people that's transferred. He need one transfer quarterback that's tired of sitting behind somebody. Transfer to his team. And it's gonna be real nasty then. Because now you're gonna start to see the floodgates open. 5-star recruit transferred to Jackson State because he was tired of sitting behind Spencer Rattler. Because he's a freshman. Because he's a freshman this year, he baller. We're gonna see it. I think we're gonna see it, and then that's when it's gonna open the floodgates to HBCU because now I don't have to go sit behind that guy. Prime is putting down a product that is going to get seen. I think Jackson State is going to get primetime games. I think that because it's primetime, I think that they'll get TV showing. And that's what recruits is going to look at. All Deion need to do is put one of them in the NFL.
That's gonna probably come sooner or later, and that might come from his own household. So
yeah. I just want to shout out my man for doing that. All right, football transitioning into football. Saints. Should the Saints start just Jameis or Taysom versus the Chiefs? They should start Jameis. The Taysom Hill experience is over. It's over. Right? Who did he beat up on? He beat up on Falcons, which in actuality, his defense demolished Matt Ryan, right? They sacked him I think they sacked him 8 times the first game. I think 4 or 5 times the next game.
Mm-hmm.
So they demolished Matt Ryan. Then he played me and you at quarterback for the Broncos. So then he ran into a real defense in Philadelphia.
He played the Falcons twice and the quarterbackless Broncos. And then the Eagles.
Played a real defense with the Eagles. Lost. Seen what happened when that defense didn't bail him out. But that defense didn't get the turnover. That defense didn't sack Jalen Hurts. And in all actuality, that last touchdown that y'all scored, Jalen Hurts gave y'all that. So y'all legit, I think, scored 20 or scored 10 points all game. If Jalen Hurts don't give you that fumble in the red zone, I would say 13 because Will Lutz missed the field goal. Yeah, yeah, you got to start the guy. You got to start Jameis Winston. Turnover, because what's the biggest knock on Jameis Winston?
Turnovers.
You turn over the ball? Well, I just seen Taysom Hill turn the ball over as well. And he legit should have more turnovers than he actually had. He's fumbled the ball a couple times that the defense didn't get. He's threw the ball to the other team a couple of times that they just didn't pick off also. Jameis Winston is the pro-ready quarterback. He's the pro-star quarterback. He's going to make this offense more explosive because he will push the ball downfield with accuracy. That's what you need against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Taysom Hill is best suited probably in an offense that's going to be ground and pound. You know what I mean? You're going to run play action off that. Ball control, good defense. That's not how you beat the Chiefs. And y'all are in a position now because of if you beat Philly, you can afford to start Taysom Hill against the Chiefs and drop a game. You can afford that. You're in a position where you got to win now. You were in a good position with the division, with the conference. You were in a good position. Now you're getting closer to where you might have to go to Lambeau in order to win the NFC. And that's still a tough place to play, and that's still Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think you want to go there and play, especially with Drew Brees as your quarterback, who's not going to play that well in the cold weather of Lambeau Field. So this is a game where you're going to have to win, and this is a game where the person that probably gives you the best chance to win is Jameis Winston. You want to go back to Taysom Hill next week? You can go back to Taysom Hill next week.
Nope, don't go back to him next week.
This week, you need Jameis Winston because you need to score points, and Jameis gives you the best chance to score points. Yes, he's probably going to turn the ball over a few times and keep the Chiefs in it, but he's also going to keep you in it by scoring some points. So I say start Jameis.
Here's the Saints' next 3 games: Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers. I don't care what the Vikings record is. They've been playing good football.
Yep.
They've been playing real good football. I can see the Saints losing with Taysom Hill as the quarterback against the Vikings. I can definitely see that. I can actually see them losing with Taysom Hill as a quarterback against the Panthers as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them losing with Jameis Winston as a quarterback against the Vikings and the Panthers. So, I think that you got to put the team, you got to put the best team out there. They played the Panthers on October 25th. They won 27-24, and that's when Drew Brees started. Taysom Hill ain't there. I mean, Drew Brees ain't there. He might not be in there either one of those games. Like you just said, it's more at stake than just the number 2 seed now. Like you said, I think they there's no way they can catch the Packers now. Packers own the head-to-head with them. They're going to lose this week against the Chiefs. I'm going to pull up the Packers schedule in a little bit, but I don't think the Packers got anybody I think they might got the Vikings. And actually, no, I don't think they got the Vikings either. I don't know who the heck they play, but I'm going to pull it up. But
they got the Panthers, the Titans, and then the Bears.
Maybe they can lose that. Maybe they can lose that Titans game. Maybe. Man, listen, it's the Packers. They probably can lose all 3 of these games, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's more likely that the Saints lose to the Chiefs and the Vikings than the Packers losing it to the Panthers and the Titans. So, and even if they both lose, if the Packers lose all 3 and the Saints lose 2 of those things, I think the Panthers. No, they're tied. They both got. Yeah,
they're both 10-3 right now.
They both got 3 losses. Okay, so the Saints can legit probably pull ahead, but you got to start Jameis because he's going to be the one that allows you to get the shot. The team that is waiting in the wings for this game is the Rams.
Yep.
You got the Rams on your behind as well. That's another reason why you got to start James Winston, because
they're 9-4.
You one loss away from falling to the 3 spot. At 3, you'd play. Well, you hoping you go to 3 now. You hoping you fall to 3. At 3 you play Tampa. You might lose just because. You stay in that 2 spot, you play Arizona. But you might not want to play. You might not want to play Arizona. But you fall that 3 spot, you play Tampa. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't care. You may have beaten Tampa twice this year. You probably don't want to play Tampa a 3rd time. It's hard to beat a team 3 times a week.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. No, all too well.
So I'm with you, bro. They definitely got to start. They got to start Jameis, man, because I think he gives them the best shot to win.
Which
who returns to the Eagles? Wentz, Peterson, or both? As an Eagles fan, I want Doug Peterson out. I want Doug Peterson going. I just think his play calling is spotty. It's iffy. So, yeah, I would want Doug Peterson going. If Jalen Hurts keep playing the way he playing, I want both of them going. and listen, I love Carson. I love Carson. But there's no way you can bring if Jalen Hurts keeps balling the way he's balling, there's no way you can bring both of them back. Because now you mess with the psyche of one of them. You have to move one of them. And for me, it would be Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz will be 28. Jalen Hurts will be 22. You can build, and he's not paid. He's not being paid like a top tier quarterback. He's still on a rookie deal. That's why, and he's more mobile. So that's why I would stick with Jalen Hurts if Jalen Hurts balls the way he's balling. But just to answer the question, I think it's tough, because if Jalen Hurts balls, I can see Doug Peterson coming back and Carson Wentz being out. If Jalen Hurts struggles, I can see Carson Wentz being back and Doug Peterson being out. So I got to answer like a fan, and I would say I would want to see both of them going. But if I had to, I would rather it be Doug Peterson and Jalen Hurts. The reason I'm saying that is because Jalen Hurts is younger.
I say both. I say blow it up and start over. You got what you wanted out of it. You know, as much as Nick Foles carried that team through the playoff run, but Carson carried them throughout the season, and he was in the MVP race up until he got hurt. You got a Super Bowl, Doug. You got a Super Bowl, Philly. It's over, you know, because unfortunately that's Doug's measuring stick. As long as he's in Philly right now.
I agree.
It's Super Bowl or bust, and when you're not even getting close to sniffing it, or you're struggling to make the playoffs now, then they're gonna be on you and they're gonna want you out. And at the same time, it is partially your fault. Sometimes you do make bad decisions, clock management, play calling. So you are part of the blame. Some of it is your fault, the injuries and different things like that. It's part of the game. But I just think it's time to move on as far as Doug is concerned. And as far as Carson is concerned, I think you found your new wave. This is the new wave of the NFL, and you've got one now in Jalen Hurts. So you're gonna have to eat this cat money for for whatever reason, for however long. You got to eat the cat, but you found your guy that you can build the future with, and you just got to focus on. If you move Carson, you can get back picks that can make up for the dead cap space. You can get back the picks. You can get rookie contracts, and you could be in a good place going forward. I just think it's time to move on from both of them.
We might be as delusional as the Rockets. We might be, because next year we are $90 million in cap in a negative with the cap. So we gotta find picks. We gotta find draft picks, and we gotta hit on them. Like you said, yes, if we trade Carson, it's a $59 million cap hit, but that's for 1 year. We clear that money after 2021. 2022, his money will be off the books. You got, like you said, you got Jalen Hurts, young. You ain't paying him a lot of money. His comp is Dak Prescott. If his comp is Dak Prescott and he can be Dak Prescott,
you don't even know how long that is going to be, because he just completely rearranged his ankle. So we don't know how long that's going to be. And then at the same time, we don't know if he's going to stay in Dallas. I know he said he wants to, but that's another conversation. But
I'm talking about Jalen Hurts. They said Jalen Hurts comp, who he compares to, is Dak Prescott. If
really?
Jalen Hurts can turn it to Jalen Hurts, to Dak Prescott, I like that. If he can turn to Dak Prescott,
if he can turn into Dak Prescott, would be fine with better coaching.
I think Dak Prescott can be solid.
And it's the Mike McCarthy's and the Jason Garrett's that's really held back that Dallas Cowboys team. It hasn't been Dak Prescott. So
I agree. Dak Prescott put up a lot of numbers. So you have to learn you have to do something, man, because again, to have that, you have to move one of them. I'm talking about Carson or Doug. You have to move one of them, because I don't think that merits can get back to, and I actually don't think it ever was. I think Frank Reich was his guy. And I'm telling you, if you can trade him to Indianapolis, you can trade Carson to Indianapolis for some picks. It'd be a win-win for both parties. It'd be a win-win. Carson reunited with his guy that believed in him, and Philadelphia Eagles get their picks. So I'm with you. Who grabs the last playoff spots in each conference? Well, in the AFC, it's easy for me. The Ravens. I think the Ravens grabbed the last playoff spot. But I don't think that's their last playoff spot. I think the Ravens actually get to the 6th seed. I actually think the Colts grab the last playoff spot in the in the AFC. So I think I think Miami gets knocked out, because Miami has games coming up against
New England,
Buffalo, and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I think they beat New England. I think they beat Las Vegas, but I think they lose to Buffalo. The Colts have games against the Steelers, the Texans, and the Jaguars. I think they beat the Texans. I think they win two out of those three. Whether that's against Texans and the Jaguars or whether it's against the Steelers and the Jaguars, they win 2 out of those 3. And we know what the Ravens' schedule look like. They ain't losing. They ain't losing another game. So
they should win out.
So those are my teams. Here, let me see something real quick.
And I agree. Those are the teams that I expect to. I think the Ravens are going to take that last spot in the playoffs. I don't think the Dolphins make it. Next year, they'll be in a better position.
Let me ask you this question real quick though. Could it be a possibility that the Dolphins, Colts, and the Ravens make it, and the team that actually loses, the team that actually doesn't make it, is the Browns?
Somebody else had pointed that out to me, and I was looking. I was like, that means they would lose out.
Maybe they can finish 10-6. Maybe the Dolphins finish 10-6 as well.
I'm like,
because I don't see them losing to the Jets. They lose to the Jets.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, I don't know if 10-6 because the Ravens would be 10-6. And they hold the head. I don't even think 10-6 is good enough.
Now the Ravens would be 11-5. The Ravens would be 11-5 when they went out. Say the Dolphins only loss is to the Bills. That puts them at 10-6. Say the Browns lose to the Giants and the Steelers, that puts them at 10-6. I don't know who has the tiebreaker.
I don't know if 10-6 gets them in.
Gets who in? The Browns?
The Browns. If everybody else finishes 10-6.
Yeah, see?
Hold on. They hold a tiebreaker over Indy because they beat them.
Well, I think they split, right?
Who?
Oh, the Browns. The Browns. Talking about the Browns, okay.
Yeah, the Browns. Like, everybody holds a tiebreaker over Indy. Except for the Dolphins.
So I'm thinking there is a possibility that the Browns could be knocked out.
That would be that would not be a good look. Especially with the games that they have remaining on their schedule. They should win these next 2 games. The Pittsburgh game should be a toss-up. But the Giants and the Jets, after the showing that you've had over the past month, yeah, you better win that. You better win these next 2 games. Because they play what?
That can get interesting.
Did they play Saturday?
Mm-hmm. I think they play. Do they play Saturday?
2 games are Saturday, but I can't remember who it is that plays Saturday.
The 20th. The Browns play the 20th.
No, they play the 20th. Saturday, Buffalo and Denver and Carolina and Green Bay play.
Oh, they're gonna do Denver like that. They know Denver need all their rest. But hey, listen, Denver had a big game, had a big win on Sunday too. So, dang, why they gonna put? What time is those Saturday games? I gotta look at that now.
I think 4 and 8:30. They're on the NFL Network.
Hold on, I gotta look at something real quick.
Yeah, 4:30 and 8:15.
Gotta see how I'm gonna set my Saturday up.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a busy day. And it's the last weekend before Christmas, so.
Because Saturday at 4:00, Clemson Notre Dame game on. Saturday at 8:00, Florida Alabama game on. Damn. And the Tulsa Cincinnati game on.
Yep, it's gonna be a busy Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of good. It's a good weekend to have. This is a good weekend. All right, to the NFL, NFC. Who gets the last spot? For me, in the NFC, the last spot goes to.
Does your boy get in?
I think.
Do they hold on?
Man, woo. These last 3 games, because I think Philly beats them. I think the Eagles beat Arizona. For some reason, Arizona always beats San Fran, but they always lose to the Rams. So that'll put them at 9-7. Oh no, I'm sorry, 8-8. That'll put them at 8-8.
No, but listen to the TikTok. Listen.
Minnesota.
Can Minnesota or Chicago catch them?
Minnesota has Chicago this weekend, so the winner of that game, or the loser of that game, automatically gets eliminated, in my opinion.
They got New Orleans and then Detroit, both on the road.
I think the way it's set up, the way I just picked it, Minnesota gets in, not Kyler Murray.
So Minnesota gets in, not Kyler Murray.
Because Minnesota holds the head-to-head or holds the tiebreaker.
So they both finish 8-8.
Minnesota gets in. And I actually think that Philly game is the swing game. They need that Philly game. Because I don't know if they beat the Rams. I don't know.
So what you're saying is the guy you picked for preseason MVP.
Yeah,
is
man.
Not gonna make the playoffs.
He ain't gonna make the playoffs. He ain't gonna win MVP.
Oh man, I don't know, because to me they should get in. I think they win. I think they win these next 2 games.
I hope so.
They have to beat Philly. If they don't beat Philly, it's going to be tough sledding. But also, Minnesota still got to beat Chicago. And after what Chicago just did this past weekend,
like I said, Mr. Trubisky had a good game. He did a thing. He did his thing.
Because we can't judge. I'm no longer judging teams how they perform against Tampa. I'm no longer saying you're good or you're bad, depending on how you perform against Tampa. Tampa, nope, they're not. They're not a measuring stick. It's amazing. We were excited. We were penciling them in the Super Bowl, and now, let's be honest. If we go and we look, I mean, they're at 8 wins, but.
Remember, I asked you 2 weeks ago. I said, "Man, do they make the playoffs?"
Their schedule played out so favorably at the end. You get the Falcons twice and the Lions.
That's 11 wins. 11 wins.
You can't drop. You can't.
I'm gonna tell you what
you can't drop one of those games.
Nah, he ain't gonna drop none of them. But I'm gonna tell you what'll be interesting though. Real interesting. Is if who does the Saints have the last 3 games? Chiefs, Vikings, and the Panthers. They can lose all 3 of those games, especially Drew Brees not playing. What'll be interesting is the Vikings go on, or the Saints go on a 4-game losing streak, and the Bucks go on a 4-game winning streak, and they are they take over the number 1 spot in that division.
But the thing about that is, no one will be fearful of them.
I'm with you. But I'm gonna tell you this. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that I don't think anybody be scared of me. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. And I think that'll be scary for a lot of the teams. Because when that man comes in, just think about this, right? His first 3 Super Bowls.
It's irrelevant at this point.
I'm just saying he found a way to win those games.
No. He and Bill found ways to win those games. He don't have Bill no more. He don't. And he don't have and I'm not even gonna say that in the sense of he can't win without Bill. He doesn't have that type of coach anymore. He has Bruce Arians, the guy that said they can do anything.
We can do whatever we want.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying he has him. I'm not even saying that he doesn't have Bill Belichick. I'm just saying he has.
He don't have that type of coach. He got Bruce Arians.
He has Bruce Arians, and that'll be the difference. That's why I believe that's why nobody fears him. Think about this. I've heard people say because of the numbers that AB shouldn't even be on the field. It should be Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller. I can't deny it.
The numbers say it.
Nick Dawson, I can't deny it.
The numbers say it though.
I can't deny it, bro.
It just they gotta figure something out, and I don't know if they have the time to figure it out.
But listen, if they go on a win streak, a little nice win streak, that can get real interesting. But now they'll jump up from 6 to maybe what, 3rd or 4th? Well, 3rd.
Yeah, but did they find out who they are? You gonna find out who you are playing the Falcons twice? We just seen that.
No,
Taysom Hill and the Saints aren't who they are after playing the Falcons twice.
they know who they are, man. They can do it all. They already know who they are. According to Bruce Arians, we can do it all, bro. There's nothing that we can't do. We can run, we can pass, we can do it. We can do it all. Rojo is gone for the season. LaShawn McCoy is here now. So I said Ronald Jones is going, man. LaShawn McCoy the running back now. They can do it all.
From a fractured finger?
He going. I don't know. Let me see something real quick.
From a fractured finger?
I don't know if he's going for the season. But he going. He ain't gonna play this week.
From a fractured finger? I thought they said he was just gonna.
Yeah, they Buccaneers placing third running back. Oh, he on the COVID list.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, he on the COVID list. All right, so he only going maybe this week. So, like I said, man, I believe in Bruce Arians. I'm lying. I don't believe in Bruce Arians. but I believe in TB. I believe in TB12. He's shown me Listen, he won 2 Super Bowls that he shouldn't have won. Somehow, some way, he won them. Right? He actually I think he won like 4 Super Bowls that he shouldn't have won.
He should have never been in the one with the Rams. The Tuck rule. The Tuck rule.
First year.
But
he won it.
That Panthers game was great. The Panthers
Eagles game. They stole the sign. They stole signs, but they won. He drove them down the field. He won it.
They ain't still no signs.
Hey, listen, stolen signs or not, he drove them down the field. They kicked the field goal. They won it.
Donovan shouldn't have been throwing up on the field. That's what that game came down to. Donovan couldn't get the job done.
He won the Atlanta Falcons game. He won it. He found out a way. They figured it out. He won. He won the Seattle Seahawks game. He won it.
He got the LeBron James treatment of rings. There's always some weird stuff around his rings, man.
So that's what I'm saying. This year,
like LeBron only got like one legit ring.
He got a legit ring. He got 4 of them things. Let me think of. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the young OKC ring.
Yeah, that's the only legit one I'll say. But even that one's a little iffy because they should have been down. They should have been down 0-2. That was a foul. But anyway, just being real. But that was still on a shortened season. Sorry, he got a shortened season. He got the miracle shot from the corner. He got the Draymond Green.
Wow. The Draymond Green stimulus package. And
then he got the COVID Clipper choke stimulus package. And then Tom Brady got the tuck rule. He got the Marshawn Lynch. Why didn't you just give him the damn ball? What else he got?
He got the Atlanta Falcons. Why didn't you just run the damn ball?
Why didn't you just run the damn ball? Atlanta Falcons. He got the Rams. Why the hell do you have Jared Goff? Yeah, that was the worst Super Bowl, man. That was the worst Super Bowl, and he won it like 10-3. I don't even remember what his numbers were. If
you have any other quarterback other than Jared Goff, you probably win that Super Bowl.
You would have won that game. So
it's crazy. Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. We were just joking. We're not coming at LeBron and Tom Brady. We're just making jokes.
No, I'm not. LeBron, listen.
We're just making jokes. We're just making jokes, man.
Giving you respect, LeBron.
I'm giving you your damn respect. We're just making jokes.
Some way, somehow, man, they find ways to win.
But not with Bruce Arians. He's not gonna find a way. That team doesn't even look like they want to play. Let's be real. They don't even look like they want to play sometimes, man. That some of the things that you see them do. I think when Tom Brady was with, I guess it was the Bears, and he looked over, he was like, "It's 4th down, right? It's 4th down." That was the beginning of the end, right there. And we didn't take it as such that this team was just not on the same page when a Hall of Fame, arguably the GOAT quarterback, didn't know it was 4th down. That was a sign, and we just completely we talked about it for a while, and then they got some more new toys, and we just kind of glossed over it, and we forgot all about it. But that was the sign that we should have took the sign in that this team wasn't.
Let me ask you this question: if Bill is his head coach, do he know it's 4th down? Do he know that was 4th down?
Absolutely.
Dang, Bruce Arians. You said it, man. Bruce Arians is the guy.
He's the weakest link.
Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles is the weakest link. Todd Bowles looked good in the beginning. I ain't gonna lie to you. He looked good in the beginning. I don't know when you put anybody 1-on-1 with Tyreek Hill. I gotta question your coaching. I gotta do it. So I'm with you, bro. It's gonna get interesting. I think it's gonna be a really interesting Saturday, and it's gonna be a really interesting end of the NFL season. And I'm excited for it.
Absolutely.
Definitely excited for it. Sports is about to pick up and pop off. Because I actually think that baseball is about to pick up with free agency as well.
No, yeah, the winter meetings get ready to jump off after the holidays. January is usually when the winter meetings really start getting up there and having a huge impact. So I seen the Yankees was their top priority is DJ LeMahieu. So yeah,
is DJ gonna come back? I heard that JT is top priority for the Phillies. I also heard that they're looking at PBJ. I think that's what they call him. JB, whatever the freak you call him. Jackie Bradley Jr. Jackie Bradley Jr. I heard he was a top priority for the Phillies as well. So, but like you said before, we've been saying it, bullpen is top priority for the Phillies.
Yes, for the Phillies.
So I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about what's going on in the sports world. It's going to be crazy because it's going to be like there's going to be no breaks.
Yeah.
As soon as basketball is over, you're going right back into football season. You know what I mean? And I like it that way. I like it. And like you said, and baseball season to still be rolling. I'll be interested to see because now they think about that's something else we need to talk about. That baseball season may start in May. I think that's what they said, right? May.
That's the leading that I think you said May, something like that. Yeah.
So I want to see how that plays out. I would love for it to be 80 games, something like that, 80, 100 games, and it goes into October. We love it. And then you can have baseball playoffs, October, November, maybe World Series in around Christmas time.
Oh no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. They're gonna end baseball in October, first week of November. They'll never have baseball in December. I couldn't imagine trying to play baseball in New York right now.
They compete. Yeah. I'm with you. Because they can't play. They ain't gonna be able to play in the snowstorms.
It's 30. It's 35 outside trying to hit a baseball. Oh my.
They ain't gonna be able to do it. So yeah, they gotta get that over with. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about sports moving forward. So give us a lot to talk about. Got a lot of baseball, a lot of boxing matches. I think that's gonna happen next year as well. So I'm excited. Final thoughts. My final thought. Just enjoy it, man. Enjoy the weekend. I'll say this: with Christmas coming up, and we're probably going to be on a short week. Probably next week, maybe Christmas. Well, Christmas is set as Friday, so we might have the both shows. But I would say really think about what your 2021 going to look like. 2020 is over. We made it. You survived. Survived 2020. 2021, we got new president's going to come up. You've had almost a whole year to adjust to online schooling, maybe working from home. I think 2021, you should legit figure out your plan, a course of action on what you want to do moving forward and execute it. So that's why I would say my final thought. Figure out a game plan for 2021. You survived probably the worst years of your life in 2020. and execute it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, bro. And I'm sticking with it. This is my second to the last one before it's over. But either expand it or don't have it. It's just that simple. College Football Playoff Committee. Either expand it or don't have it. Too many good teams out there. Too many teams that deserve an opportunity to go and play for a national championship. So,
yes, sir. Go Cincinnati.
Absolutely. Let's go, Bearcats.
That's our show for the day. Y'all know what it is. If y'all want to holler at us, speak on anything, go to our link tree. Make sure that you follow us on all our on all our platforms. If you want to talk to us, debate us on this show, talk to us about hip hop, talk to us about something that's cultural that you want to bring awareness to the culture. Make sure that you go ahead and inbox us. We'll make sure that we get back to you. We want to see you on the show. We want to have you as a guest. Reach out to us. Let us know what it is. But until then, y'all know what it is. I'm going to holler at y'all. Speak on it.
Peace.